Welcome to the McEnulty Method. We are joining financial expert Frank McEnulty and Colin Sorrells, and they're going to answer your questions about money and finance. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here. How are you, Bill?
I'm good. We have a lot of questions today, so I think we better hop right in.
Okay.
So let me read you this first one. It's a question about emergency funds. I'm 23 years old and have no personal debt. As a result, I've been able to create an emergency fund that can cover all of my living expenses for the next 14 months. I'm extremely concerned about potentially losing my job and being able to live during a transition period. My emergency fund is my safety net, which is why I continue to put more and more money into it. Problem is that I also want to start investing. However, every time I'm ready to start, I think about continuing to grow my emergency fund to help with the transition period. So the question is, how long should an emergency fund reasonably last? 6 months? 12 months? 24 months? Should I stop funding my emergency fund?
Well, the rule of thumb is that you should have 6 months. 6 months is enough. But let's talk about it. Yes, you're right to be concerned, but you're probably a little over concerned because obviously you're a very hard worker. And even if you lose your job, that doesn't mean you're going to sit around and do nothing. You can go get a temporary job. You'll have unemployment. You'll have money coming in. So odds are you're not going to burn through even 6 months worth of emergency fund before you find another job. So you're really hurting yourself because emergency funds by definition are probably sitting in a bank account that you can access very quickly. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down, it's there. So really you need to start investing now. I'd take half of your emergency fund and start investing it. Because quite honestly, you don't need it.
Wow, Colin, what's your take?
No, I completely agree. And the 6 months is exactly what I was going to say. That is the general rule of thumb. Just from listening to it, it kind of sounds like somebody who's overly cautious and trying to protect themselves from more risk. Mm-hmm. So, I agree with Frank, Frank, you say you could 6 months, he's already up to 14 months, taking half of that and putting that into the market, and actually seeing some return on your investment. Because if all you're going to do is continue to save in that emergency fund, Frank, you talk about probably sitting in a savings account, making, $20 a year. So you get one, you're going to get one good meal at a fast food place every year out of that. If you continue to just build your emergency fund, sure, you have that cushion. I think they called it their safety net, but that's going to make it a lot harder when you get to the end of this thing and you want to retire, not having nearly as much money as you would have if you took, as Frank said, half and kept 6 months of an emergency fund and started investing it in the market.
Well, I think that's the important point too. Obviously, a younger person who's doing extremely well, they need to be investing now so they get those multiple extra years of compounding. So it's really worth a lot more in the future. So yeah, they've done a great job, better than 95% of people in America at saving money. Now start investing.